Boy, have we missed you guys. Weekendology is kicking off with episode number 58, so fasten your seatbelts, Weekend Warriors. Weekendology is the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations. We cover everything related to all the best topics from music, movies, sports, food, and more. I'll be your host, Will Deichley, alongside the main man himself, Aaron Berg. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? How you doing?
I am chilling.
You are chilling.
Yeah, enjoying 2021.
You should be enjoying 2021.
It's going all right for me.
A lot better than the end of 2020, so there's not too much to complain about.
No,
I hope
it's all right.
No, we're just chilling here in the Weekendology
How's
studios.
life in Will's world?
Oh, you know, it's kind of getting through it for
just
now.
Going.
Yeah,
It's
going. So better than the alternative, I guess. So
that's always good.
Always good. But we want to thank all of our returning listeners here for joining us this week. And if you're new to the show, welcome. The show is all about changing, improving, and making things better as we cover all the best topics from around the pop culture and the sports world. If you'd like to check out all of our other episodes, all 57 of them, go peruse our backlog. We've got some incredible topics over there for you guys, and so many great changes and things to improve upon, and great entertainment for you guys.
You're bound to find something you're interested in with that backlog.
There has to be something in there, so
something.
Go look, listen, whatever it is.
I mean, they're all interesting, so.
I mean, of course they're all interesting.
They're all worth checking out.
I think every podcast we've done has been quite enthralling. Just so
100.
I listen to all of our podcasts as well, and like quarterback on Monday morning with the game tape, you gotta make sure everything's copacetic and good to go, and you're not, I don't know, making some errors,
like judging yourself, taking notes on yourself.
Exactly. Yes. Like, inflection in this voice was way too high at this point, so need to make sure it's fine tuned.
You're like Nick Saban, like right after you're done with.
Yes.
Did you see that? The Joey guy from Barstool, he does the impressions.
Joey Molinaro.
Yeah, that's why I didn't attempt to say his last name because I always forget it. But he did a Nick Saban, and he was like, "I've only watched 4 hours of game film today instead of 8." It was it was so funny. It was his Tucker Carlson interviewing Nick Saban.
Yeah, I think I saw bits and pieces of it. But...
so you didn't see it?
No,
you're lying to me.
No,
I think I saw bits of it. You didn't see it.
I mean, I know of the dude. Like, I'm not.
That's not what I asked.
He's done multiple Nick Saban ones, though. So.
No, this one's the Tucker Carlson interviewing Nick Saban.
Okay, I haven't seen that particular one, so
I saw bits and pieces. I'm gonna start using that from now on. When someone asks me,
yeah,
I saw bits and pieces of it.
I mean,
hey, did you ever see this movie? It's really great. Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of it.
that way, it's a valid answer.
You are covered because that way, if you're like, hey, what about this part? And you're like, I only saw bits and pieces.
Exactly.
I don't remember.
No, I mean, I only saw bits and pieces of it. So
encouraging people to be liars. Nice.
See, you got to be super vague about something. So
you got to be a liar, is what you're saying.
Moving on, Aaron.
Painted you into a corner there.
Yeah, you got me there. Weekendology is brought to you by the Big Red World Podcasting Network. They're a podcasting network outside of St. Louis. Go check them out. They've got some good ones like The House That Rick Built and 6 Drunk, 1 Sober. They're up on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. Don't forget to check out our webpage on the Big Red World's website for links to our episodes, social handles, blogs about our latest content, all the greatest happenings from around the Weekendology realm. Go show your love and support for the show as well by following our social handles. Keep up to date with everything that's changing in sports, food, video games, whatever it is, music,
whatever bits and pieces
pop culture,
are out there.
Whatever bits and pieces are out there. You can find us on our main Twitter at Weekendology Pod and wherever you listen to podcasts. Sports fans, for everything you need, we've got you covered at Weekendology Sports or at Weekendology Sports. And if you need entertainment, we've also got you covered for there at our Twitter handle at WeekendologyENT as well.
By the way, the omission from last week.
What was was that Weekendology and not mentioned last week?
No. I have an omission.
Oh, what is it?
The Weekend, his face.
Oh.
if you're a loyal listener and you stuck
I have
around
seen this
for the whole episode.
Yeah.
Because probably I bet no one sticks around for the entire episode. But if you did, then we got into the Weekend and his jacked up face. It was fake. So.
That man. Oh, it was fake?
Yes.
Oh,
my sources have confirmed.
Dang, that was a good deep fake.
Publicity stunt.
He looked pretty
for
bad,
his music
pretty
video.
Bad. So
I know. I was like, man, what's he gonna look like at the Super Bowl? Like,
hopefully it was not going to be like that in some sort of thriller.
He got me. He got me.
He got us all. So.
Or just us two because we're stupid. You never know.
Well, I only saw bits and pieces of it, Aaron, so I can't confirm nor deny of it. So I don't know. But as you listen to this week's episode, make sure to rate it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you're listening from. Hit that subscribe or that follow button. We'd love to hear your support and keep bringing you all the best topics.
You can ask Alexa to play Weekendology. That works too.
You can be like, hey, Alexa, play Weekendology from Apple, and we'll be on your
Oh, you don't
Alexa.
have to say from Apple.
Oh,
It's on Amazon.
Or it is on Amazon, too, yeah.
There you go.
That we are on Amazon too. I thought Alexa played from anywhere though. Is it only Amazon that she plays things from, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm pretty sure because why would they want to use competitors?
I mean, when you ask Alexa, like stuff from all over, the web, or
when you ask Alexa to play music, it plays it from Amazon.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
But it does source everything from the web, but I don't think it'll pull stuff from like. If you're only on Spotify, let's say, I don't think it can do that. It has to be on all the major ones. But everything worth listening to is pretty much on all the major
We are on Amazon
services.
Music and podcasts, so go check us out there.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it. But
I just thought that was pretty cool and asked Alexa and started playing.
Have you done that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she here's Weekendology.
Yeah, because we're on Amazon. So
that's awesome. I don't have an Alexa, so I can't do that. But
I have your old one.
Oh, you
That's hilarious. You just gave it to me.
Yeah, I didn't want it, so it was
afraid they're listening.
Yeah,
Big brother.
Yeah, they know everything about me, so I can't give them anything else to know about it.
I know. Did you ever see the show Next with John Slattery?
No, I never saw it. Is it good?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I watched one episode. So I don't know if that qualifies as a good show because I only got one episode in.
Okay.
But the one episode I watched was pretty good. But it's all about that. And
okay.
They're like, oh, the Alexas are listening. And
I mean, they are. The government knows, so they know everything. But what they don't know is our pick of the week this week, Aaron.
Ooh.
My pick of the week is a little bit of a fan favorite. Something that you saw while you were coming in to the studios here. I'm watching the newest season of Hell's Kitchen from Gordon Ramsay. Channeling my inner cook, and it was very, very enthralling.
Still using that cookbook you got?
I am, yes. I need to break out a few new recipes for it, because I haven't cooked with it for a little while, but there's a couple on the old rocket docket that I'd like to make. So
Kim yell at you while you cook those? I feel like that's a requirement. If you make Gordon Ramsay food,
you're an idiot sandwich.
You have to have someone just screaming at you.
Okay.
When you cook it.
No, not
that's
the full
That's
experience.
how you get the true flavor out.
Okay.
If you don't, then you're not going to get the true
Gotcha.
Gordon Ramsay experience.
I mean, I'm training though for that to happen by watching Hell's Kitchen and keeping up with all of the Gordon shows. So that's it's my mental training.
What's next on the list for you if you're cooking?
I really want to make. There's like a lemon butter chicken, and then he has like a good fish recipe too. Fish called like hake or hake, or I don't know how to pronounce it actually, but it's like a
Hake.
Yeah, Hake or something. But
I don't know. I never heard of that one.
He's got a good recipe for like seared hake or hake or whatever it's called. So if I'm mispronouncing that, and apologize to any of the true chefs out there.
All the fishermen will forgive you on that one.
Hopefully, Peter the fisherman will forgive me. So
how is Hell's Kitchen? How's it going?
It is very, very interesting. We're down to the final 3 now.
Ooh.
Yeah, final 3. So I'm very excited for next week's episode.
It's getting hot and steamy.
It's gonna be amazing
down in Hell's Kitchen.
What's your pick of the week, Aaron?
I have a what's the word?
Podcast?
No. It's a unorthodox pick of the week. Since today is a sports episode.
Yes, tell us more.
I'm going with the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, they did have their great playoff win last week.
They did. Playoff win. So technically it's 2 because playoff win against the Steelers. I'll pick that since that was, as of this recording, last weekend.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, they're playing the Chiefs. So I'm picking that. I'm just picking Cleveland Browns football.
So you're picking
my boy
the Browns
Baker,
over the Chiefs then?
I'm not going on any limbs.
Oh, okay.
I'm just picking to watch the Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
my boy Baker, man. I told you guys, told all you haters, including you, Will, oh, he's not going to do anything. Oh, he's another Browns quarterback. Just add him to the list. Blah, blah, blah. Nope. Second round of the playoffs. Haven't even been won a playoff game since 1994. Now they got it.
They did pull it off to their credit, but they almost gave it up. They were up by.
That doesn't matter.
They almost gave it up, though.
But they didn't. So it doesn't matter what they almost. And actually, they didn't almost. They were up by like 10 the entire time. The Steelers would start to come back,
but they still up by like 4 touchdowns at one point, though.
It doesn't matter. It's still up. It's still a 2-score game.
I mean, yeah, I'll give it to you.
It would be different if it's like, whoa, they tied it up, or whoa, they're down or they're only up a field goal. But like they had a convincing lead the entire time.
It only counts if they win the Super Bowl, though. So I got a little bored watching that game, to be honest. I was like, because
they were just dominating.
28-0. I was like, okay, this game's over now.
Steelers look bad.
Weird,
too.
But good segue into our actual episode topic of this week. We're talking about have live sports become boring? I think a lot of the times, especially with like COVID restrictions and stuff all the live sports coming back, but I find a lot of live sports have become boring to watch now. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's a lot of other people, but I don't really see a ton of, I guess, entertainment with live sports now.
So would you say that's every single sport?
Not every single sport, but the sports that
because live sports, that's super broad.
Like I generally watch, like the MLB I could never watch on
We
TV.
know you hate baseball.
NFL,
the only guy from St. Louis who hates it. Although, hey, you try to act like a Cardinals fan when they're good, so
I don't hate
watch how much
Cardinals.
you hate on base.
I'm not a huge fan of like baseball in general. Like I don't. Just
but you can't like a team but not like the sport.
Sure, I can. I can root for the Cardinals, but not enjoy watching other baseball games.
I'm going to root for the team, but I hate the game you play.
It's not a general sport that's very entertaining to watch on TV. But like even the NFL, I found has been hard to watch live. The NBA is very difficult. Like I used to be like a huge NBA fan.
Yeah.
Now I've started to see myself decline a little bit in watching games. Like Wednesday night would come around and be like, cool. Like I don't know. Like Rockets and Thunder are on.
Yeah, Wednesdays have the good games.
Yeah, usually Wednesdays and Fridays have a lot of good games, and now I'm just like, I don't really care that much. Like I tried watching the Heat and Boston game a little while ago, and it was like, this game, it's kind of, I don't know, it's boring or something. Like I don't get it. So I don't know. Do you feel that way, or are you just like watch every type of single game? I mean, you can only do it like post return from COVID, I guess.
I feel like they're boring for several reasons, not just because there's no fans there. I think the easy answer is yes, because there's no fans. I can't get around that. I was watching the
weird.
Penguins Flyers before I came over here, and it's so strange. I like how they're on their home arenas now again, because I didn't get into the bubble either. NBA or NHL, didn't watch it at all. Didn't care.
The bubble. I thought it was a great idea to keep everybody safe at the time, but everything just felt so diluted down. It didn't really feel like
it's
it meant
watching
anything.
Practice.
It is
practice.
Yeah,
talking about practice. Yeah, it's just summer league. That's basically what you're watching because like there's no fans. It's quiet. So there's just also when something good happens, there's no reaction, and it makes me realize how much I took for granted with fans being there, of the crowd roar when someone hits a big shot, even when you're on your couch watching it.
Well, they started piping in the fan noise and everything.
Yeah, and I do. Okay, I will say, because people complained about that, I'm glad at least they do that, but they don't do that for every sport. They only do that for certain sports. But like Seattle, that's a great example. You watch the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. They got the 12th man.
They do have a really good fan supporter section, and you don't get that, I guess.
Right. So. Well, and you'll see teams beat like the Seahawks or the Warriors, or I'm trying to think of teams that are extremely loud. Teams like that where they don't have a home field advantage. And I think you saw it this year, especially with the Seattle Seahawks. They weren't as good, and it's like, okay, are they not as good just because they're team, or are they not as good because they're not getting that extra push? I mean,
it was a huge thing for the fans because they played a big element into the game too, where
the opponents can't
draw
hear
off sides or false starts or whatever it is, and then you would feel the intensity and the excitement, rising up with the fans, and now you're kind of missing that. It feels almost like an exhibition at some of these games where. They're just dudes playing out there, like
feels like you're watching preseason. With,
pretty much,
half the stadium's full. Or, I mean, it's the weirdest thing. When I was watching the Flyers and Penguins, and they have the tarp over the seats. It looked just visually, not even with the sound, just visually it looks odd. And I don't know. My brain just is like,
is that better than having the seats open though, just with empty seats then, or is it better to have the tarp over it?
I mean, I'd rather have them open. The tarp reminds me of like the Tampa Bay Rays or like the old Spurs when they played in the Alamo Dome.
Yeah,
and they had to cover the seats. It just looks so junky. I mean,
some facilities have like closed the upper decks then to make sure that nobody can sit up there, so that on TV it doesn't look as empty. I guess they put like cardboard cutouts in some of the
yeah. I mean, I think those kind of lost their luster. At first, it was like, oh, okay. When you'd watch baseball and you'd have them right behind home plate, you could, kind of trick you a little bit. But now it's been almost a year where we've had to do that.
Did you find that like the championships from last year, like when they were played during COVID, well, it's still going on in COVID, but like
which ones?
Like the NBA or the NHL, like all of the finals and
I
championship
only watched the World Series.
Oh, you did?
I didn't watch. Watch Stanley Cup.
You're one of the very few who watched the World Series, I guess. But do you think they were like diluted in any way in like terms of winning it, quality of the team, or does it mean as much that LeBron won his 4th title when he had 2.5 months off or 3 months off?
That's tough because I don't like when people would look at the lockout seasons and say, oh, that doesn't count, shortened season. I'll say no. That's the answer to my question. To your question is no, because you still played the season, guys still were competing. It's still a season. So to me, sure, maybe the crowd had an effect or whatever, like the bubble, but I don't think so. I think it's still meaningful. It still is just as good as any other championship. So I don't think there should be an asterisk.
I guess there's unique challenges that they had to face to overcome, and then I guess testament to winning it during those challenges.
Well, and on the fly. I mean, and it was all unknown. So
that's
no,
true.
I would just say from a fan's perspective, though, like when I watched the World Series, it was okay because I just... Unlike you, I'm an American and I like baseball. So,
okay. You can be an American and not like baseball because baseball is a boring sport to watch on TV. Let's watch a guy chew gum and just sit on the bench for 20 minutes.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
That's exciting.
The reason why is because the season is so long. But you watch playoff baseball and guys are into it. It's drama. Whole game. It's just what's going to happen next.
I don't know. Baseball's
okay, but wait. Tell me why soccer is fun to watch on TV then when you score 1-0.
I mean, no, soccer can be pretty boring sometimes. So I will admit. But
how can you say one is like boring and the other one's not?
Because one game means so much more than one game in baseball. So
that's my point with baseball. The 60-game season and in playoffs, they're
never going to shorten the season. Like they're going to go back to the 162 game.
I know, but my point is playoff baseball. We're talking playoff baseball here.
Oh, okay.
So even with last season though, the 60-game season, every game did count.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, I'm adding in there is yes, last season was entertaining to watch, way more than watching June baseball usually any other year. Playoff baseball though, it's like the wild card game. It's you win and you're in.
Maybe people just dropped off of it because they were like, oh well, sports are back and stuff. There was momentum, and they lost the momentum in watching it or viewership and stuff, and maybe like, there's other stuff for us to do or something, and don't really care about it. I don't know. I'm theorizing as to why
viewership is down.
Yeah, because like a lot of live sports TV ratings are massively declining, and especially when they first came back late 2020.
I know a huge reason, and I know because the national championship for college football was the other night. And it was like super low numbers. No one watched it.
I didn't even watch it.
Go figure. It's Alabama, man. I didn't watch it.
Well, does it mean like sports are becoming too predictable? Then is that why maybe?
And that now I was gonna say. So that's my other reason why they're boring, because you look at the NBA, you look at college football, you even look at the NFL now. How that's going?
Yeah,
it's 4 or 5 teams. realistically, I mean, obviously college football, the college playoff, it's,
but
teams.
Which teams are going to be competing in the
college
long
football.
run.
It's Clemson or it's Alabama or it's Ohio State, and then you might have maybe like a Georgia or an SEC team in there. But
yeah, one underdog or something.
Coastal Carolina had a great season this year. You knew they weren't going to make it. You knew they weren't going to win it all. You look at basketball. It's always you knew the Lakers were going to be at least in it.
Yeah.
And football's like that now. The Chiefs are going to be dominant. We knew the Buccaneers would be. It's because now it's just such a quarterback league.
I actually didn't expect the Bucs to do this well as they would have.
They surprised me.
They did make some mid-season acquisitions.
But once you got like halfway through the season, you saw them rolling.
Yeah.
You knew they'd still be in it. I mean, it's NFL even, and I don't think the NFL has been this just monopolistic, ever.
I think so. I
maybe
think right.
in the early years with the Vince Lombardi Packers, but now it's like, I mean, the Chiefs. Sadly, I guess I will make a pick. Chiefs, I think, are going to win it all.
Back to back.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much know, or at least you can pick, like I said, the 3 to 4 teams that are going to get there.
I thought it was interesting, like how all of the big four sports had such a huge decrease in the numbers when they came back during COVID and everything. Even like NASCAR had a huge decrease in the in the viewership that they had. When PGA came back, they only had like about 3 million viewers for that tour or whatever, which was like, I think it was like the Masters or something, or like a huge golf tournament where everyone's like, oh my God,
there's a
boring
back. Sport.
I mean, yeah, golf's pretty bad.
I cannot watch
the
that.
The PGA actually has pretty decent numbers for its viewership all the time. It's consistent. NHL viewership was down 61% when they came back to finish off the season. The MLB had its lowest numbers in history for the World Series, and the NBA lost 51% of its viewership.
I think, though, with the World Series, that was because the Rays were in it. They're never a big draw.
True.
Who did they beat? Why am I blanking on
Such a great fan, Aaron, of baseball. Can't even remember who it was.
Who won the World Series?
I don't even remember.
You don't know?
I don't even know. Was it the Rays? No, it wasn't the Rays. It was the Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Duh.
See? Boom. I'm a better baseball fan than you are.
I was blanking. But okay. That's a perfect example, though. Predictable team versus a awful market and an underdog. We all knew who was going to win. I honestly, I watched the last game, but I didn't watch much of it. I hate the Dodgers. And I wanted the Rays, but it's like, these guys aren't going to win.
I just thought it was so interesting because, like, you think people would be so starved for sports to come back, but most people didn't really seem to care, as showcased by the numbers decreasing, too. So I thought to myself, well, why would people not want to watch live sports when they've been clamoring for it throughout the entirety of the shutdown? And I thought, well, maybe it's because so many sports came back at once. You had an overlap of sports where you had baseball, basketball, football, hockey, all 4 of the major ones going on at the same time. So then you've got people who are like, well, I don't have enough time to watch all this, plus college, plus, I don't know, whatever other sports are on.
Yeah.
There's no way I can commit my time to this. So
I feel like the people just, like me, they couldn't get around the bubble stuff, so I feel like people kind of wrote it off, and they're like, it's a put together thing, it's not a real season. And it was weird too how it was a continuation of last season almost, because they had such a big break.
But even numbers now are not as to where they were before. So like you're in like essentially a regular season.
Well,
start fresh with everything.
I think too because it helps when you go to the game, because if you go, like for me, I don't go to a ton of games, but I'll try to make, I'd say 1 basketball game, 2 basketball games, 2 hockey games. I'll go to a couple college football games, just because they're all in the area.
Yeah.
But like when you go to the game, you're more prone to, okay, I want to watch it again on TV. You're more into it. Now we don't even have the option to go. I feel like people are just kind of flippant about it, and they're just like, whatever, it's on.
I think that probably is a big factor of it because, I'd watch it on TV and be like, okay, I do want to go to the game, or I do
you watch it and
watching live sports actually live.
When you want to actually see
person.
the people you watch in person. Yeah, exactly. Like you watch them and you're like, oh wow, I want to see them do that live. You get a new appreciation for it. Whereas now, it almost seems like it's too far away. and you don't even know anyone going to a game.
What was the last game that you went to, like live sports? Mine was, I went to, it was March of 2019.
Oh, wow.
For me. I went to the Mavericks.
You didn't go to any live sports in 2020?
No.
Wow.
I did not. I wanted to go to more Mavericks games, but I wasn't able to. So, yeah, the last live sports game I saw was... No, actually, I take that back. It was the Rangers. I went to the Texas Rangers game in July of 2019. So that was the last one I went to. But I didn't go to like any of the back half of 2019. All of 2020 was a wash. So
well, no, they had them till March.
I didn't get a chance to go into any. I wanted to go to some Mavericks games, but
yeah,
I didn't get a chance to go. So
that's a good question.
I think that was the last live sports game I went to, which is weird to think because I've never gone a full year.
Right. Yeah, you always go to something.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I can't seem to think of anything else.
I guess it makes sense though. You know, if you skipped those first 3 months of 2020, then that's crazy.
I don't remember. So
wow, the non-baseball guy went to a baseball game. Imagine that.
I know. Yes. Well, we got free tickets and everything, so it was like I'm not going to turn down free tickets. So even if it's to a game that I find moderately boring to watch.
Man, I
just remember.
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Like,
dang.
I'm guessing. I think I know. I think it was a Stars game, and yeah, I had free tickets also. It was a suite.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was last year. It was
at some point in more than 6 months ago. So.
Oh well, yeah. It was either like I think it was in 2020, but it was like January of 2020. So about a year.
What do you think like sports are gonna do to like going forward? Like, is 2021 gonna be more of the same with live sports? Like, obviously there's no fans, but are they going to have the same decrease in viewership, or because I have a couple theories on what might happen with it.
I think once things are back to normal, it depends. I think if they start phasing fans in, which they could do, then I think
they've already done that in the NFL for a little bit.
Yeah,
like 25% fans or something like that. So
yeah,
I mean it's not college where there's like sometimes 70% fans or whatever
right.
in some of these stadiums.
No, but I mean, like if they go from like 25% to 50 to 75, then to 100.
Yeah,
I think the ratings will go with those. But like I said before, I don't think it's an end all be all to fans being at the game. I really think the NBA for me, I was with you, man. I'm a huge NBA fan all my life. Past
it's just like
3 years, I hate it.
A lot of the times the games are very unwatchable. And not NBA itself, like the gameplay, it is so geared towards offense that it's so hard to watch because it's like, okay, we know it's going to be 150 to 112.
And I think people are catching on to that they're like, wow, this is boring to watch. Like it's not even good basketball. You know? I mean, just from purely
I'm not going to say anything more
standpoint
about baseball, but the NFL is difficult to watch because there's so many stoppages. There's so many.
There seems like there's more. I don't know if that's just
more,
me. But...
There's more stoppages. There's more commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why I stopped watching NFL so much is because of the officiating. It is so
inconsistent.
Bad, and it's so inconsistent.
It's similar to the NBA though, where you can't play defense if you hit the quarterback at all, roughing the passer.
The passer
touch
call,
the receiver. Oh, that's pass interference.
Yep.
It really hurts the game. And I love watching football just as a sport. I'll pretty much watch any team play it.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Like in both college and NFL has a little big of a problem, I think, just like the NBA, where you take defense out of the game. Well, defense is half the reason you watch the game. It's fun, especially in a contact sport. I want to see big hits. I want to see guys get laid out. And if I can't see that, and then on top of that I see all these stoppages because it's a constant flag, like, man, I'll watch something else. Flip channels.
It makes it very difficult to tune in and really sit down and watch for 2.5, 3 hours for a lot of these games. I think some of that is because you're going to see probably COVID cause more rescheduling of games going forward.
Well, the NBA,
I mean, the NBA.
It's like every other game's getting rescheduled.
You're probably going to see it just as as protocols, probably for 2021 until literally the whole thing is over with. Because you don't want to be a team to be totally unsafe or risk and be like, okay, maybe somebody has COVID. Should we reschedule? We're just going to do it anyway. So that might hurt the scheduling for some of these games for people to watch. Like, okay, I was supposed to watch on Wednesday. Now it's moved to Thursday or Friday. I'm not available then, so I'm not going to watch. So you've got your dedicated sports fans, like they know, like Wednesday night hockey or Sunday night football or something. If that Sunday night football gets rescheduled because of COVID or whatever it is, they're not going to watch on Monday.
Roger Goodell would never let that happen.
Never do that. But I'm just saying is, you're probably going to see more games getting rescheduled because of that.
Mm-hmm. I also can't get behind, and this is not to say I don't like watching sports anymore. I do, but I can't get behind just these seasons are so long, and they're talking about extending the NFL season to 17 games now.
I saw that, yeah. They've been talking about that for, like, years, I think.
But I think it's close to happening.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. And I just think, with 82-game seasons for NHL and NBA, and like we talked about, like with baseball, that's a 162-game season. The beginning of these seasons, unless it's opening night, it's like, well, whatever. The game means nothing because it doesn't mean anything.
It really doesn't, yeah.
And people want to watch intense, competitive sports, and guys really battling. And I think it's a combination of players don't want to get hurt because guys are getting hurt all the time now. And so they're trying to preserve their bodies. And also, too, you have guys who they're making their money. And I think I've never been one of these people that says athletes are overpaid, but we're crossing
super overpaid.
We're definitely crossing into a territory where they are getting paid so much. You're seeing it with Kyrie Irving. You're seeing it with James Harden. They're getting paid so much where they don't need to play. It's like, man, I made my money. It doesn't matter if I play. And honestly, I don't think championships are really their number one priority because before Michael Jordan, even Shaq and Kobe, even the early, the 2000s guys,
right?
You had to win to get your endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if you're just a cool guy and
if
flashy,
you've got a good social media following,
Juju Smith-Schuster,
you're pretty
man,
much good.
Yeah,
so.
You can get your following and be an above-average player. You don't need to win anything, and you're set. You'll get your endorsement money, you get your contract money. You're fine.
I agree.
So I think the motivation's gone.
I don't think these players care if they play or not, or if they win or not.
Because why would they? Like, what does it mean? I mean, seriously, like they play for a championship and you want to win, but they're half playing for money. I mean, it's just the truth.
I mean, when you're guaranteed like $100 million,
right? And they're going to these random cities.
Yeah,
like James Harden's going to Brooklyn
Nets.
You think he cares about the city of New York or the borough of Brooklyn? Not at all. He's not from there. It doesn't matter to him.
That will be an interesting matchup to see with KD and Kyrie and Harden and all those guys.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to gel.
Nash coaching them.
They're not going to gel together very well. But
hey, they won't be boring anymore.
Well, that team will be actually fairly exciting to watch. So I will maybe tune into a game or two just to see how they all mesh together. But
I mean, it's the NBA though. They can shoot all day and it doesn't matter.
Well,
so.
That's true. Yeah, I think a lot of another factor that might contribute to it is because a lot of our own home schedules have shifted too. So COVID's caused a lot of shifting in our work from home routines and stuff. You're seeing so many more people work from home that they weren't able to before. So now their hours have shifted too. They work maybe a little bit in the morning, take some of the afternoon time off, and then work a little bit more at night. And then maybe you're seeing that if people are working different hours, you might not be able to tune into some of those live sports games at prime time, 7 o'clock, because they're working or they have to attend to other stuff now that they weren't able to get to in the meantime. So
yeah,
I feel like that might be something. Obviously, the cord cutting as well. A lot of streaming services are out there, and you have literally every streaming service has their own sports streaming service as well.
Well, and putting, especially like college football, you want to watch the Longhorns, they're on the Longhorn Network.
Yeah, you got to pay.
They're on their own networks, or like the conferences. Like if I want to watch Pac-12, it's on Pac-12 Network. I can't just go watch it.
No, SEC Network and all. Right. They have all their own ones. You got to pay premium subscriptions for.
And I think that's going to hurt them too, because it's like I don't want to stack up all these networks to watch a random game.
Right.
I would watch. There's some teams I would watch every single game that's on TV, but if they're going to throw it on all these random networks, I mean, games aren't just on 1 or 2 channels anymore like they used to be.
So that's what they did with the Premier League.
Yeah.
They're splitting it between NBC Sports and Peacock streaming now, which is NBC's streaming service. Well, I'd watch all of the Premier League games that were on NBC Sports because I get that as part of my Hulu subscription. But now that they're making me pay for Peacock, and then there's Peacock Premium, and then all that kind of crap, I'm like, well, I don't really feel justified to pay for that, so I don't watch as many Premier League games, which kind of bums me.
Well, and
I can't afford it though.
You figure out too. You're like, do I need to watch this? You know, it's like it's not a playoff game. You know, it's not these like huge games. If they were, you would sacrifice.
Right.
But if it's just like a basic regular season game, you're like, nah, I don't need to pay.
I would like to, but part of me is like, I can't justify spending that another one.
They're pricing themselves out, and I think they're gonna have to take a look and say, because I really think these numbers are going to suffer. I don't see anything changing. I think you're going to see more, these streaming services and television companies are going to get greedy, and they're like, okay, we're going to, just do that more. And then you're going to see fans not be able to watch their team, or at least just in parts they can watch their team.
I think a lot of the times you're seeing is people catching up on YouTube and social media instead of watching the live sports.
Right.
They're just getting highlights for 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, you don't even need
media.
to watch the whole game.
Yeah, Snapchat, they're just like, here, hey, check out this highlight or something. It's
like, big play. Here,
cool.
Look at this. This is
James
cool.
Harden did a massive dunk or crossed the guy over or whatever it is. Or Gronk had an amazing touchdown. They don't need to watch the whole game in order to see that. They just like, cool, those are the parts that I want.
3 hours.
Yeah, you just saved 3 hours of your life too. And I think the value of sitting down and watching a 3-hour game is not as, I guess, important as doing other stuff and still catching up on it later on.
Well, don't you think too that might be a part of just getting older,
Well, no, I think you're seeing that in like the Gen Z or whatever that generation.
Yeah, that's true.
The younger generation.
I just feel like for our generation, like as millennials, it's different because we have that option. But also, when we were kids, it was like, wow, these guys are so cool and fun to watch, and we got so into it. And now, at least for me, the older I get, and I watch these sports or look at these teams and start learning more about it, these are just. Well, big deal. They're athletes, whatever, Well,
no, I get what you mean, too. Because, like, before, you never got the connection to these athletes like you do now. You're always like, wow, Michael Jordan.
The shine is kind of wore off.
This dude is larger than life, and you would want to watch him live on person or go to a game. And now if Michael Jordan was in today's day and age with social media and Twitter and everything, you just be like, hey, I'm going to tweet at him or shoot an Instagram post or something.
Right.
Like, so now you're more connected, so maybe you don't feel as... like the ability, like the want to be like, okay, well, I see this guy all the time.
Exactly.
I don't need to watch him play.
They're too accessible.
Exactly. Yeah, too accessible. So
well, and you're always on social media too, so you're not just seeing them play your sport. You're seeing them just as regular people and doing other things. So it's like I get tired. Like LeBron, perfect example. That dude is a generational talent. Probably my favorite basketball player I've ever seen live, but I don't even care anymore because it's like I've seen this guy nonstop every which way for 17, 18 years, both on the basketball court and on Instagram saying Taco Tuesday. It's just like, come on, man. Like I get it. Like I'm sick of LeBron. I'm sick of these people, and they push it in your face constantly. So I think that's the other thing too, where it's boring because it's not just like you said. Oh, Michael Jordan, the basketball player, that's the only opportunity I get to see him.
So what do you think sports leagues needs to do to adjust to some of these changes that are coming up? Do they need more engagement with fans?
It's a lot.
To, I guess, I don't know, make the games short or seasons shorter or something?
Yeah, I'll say number one is the rules and just watching how the game is policed.
Yeah.
NBA, get rid of all these fouls, let guys play, bring back that physical basketball. It's so fun to watch. And guess what? You can keep the three-point shooting. There was amazing three-point shooters. Reggie Miller, one of probably top 3 three-point shooter of all time, played in that era.
Yeah.
So, like, you can still have that style of play without taking out the defense.
Yeah.
So, with that, you can do that. NFL, same thing. Defense. Hockey, same thing. bring back fighting. I sound like such an old
bring
person,
back fighting.
But seriously,
no, I agree.
These entertaining things, they need to go back and put this stuff back in because it's entertainment. So I would say that's the biggest thing. Also, just somehow, some way, get fans back in the stands. And then I would say, I don't think this will change because it's money, but stop with we're going to put this game on Stadium, or we're going to put this game on Peacock, or we're going to put this game on, this other random network. Like, we got to have a central, at least a couple places where we can bank on, all right, it's on this night of the week, it's a Wednesday night, it's either on ESPN or ABC, that example. Because that's, like, basketball is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. I watched it all the time because I knew where to find it, what channel,
TNT,
what time.
ESPN, all that kind of stuff.
You could actually plan your schedule. So
yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I don't think it's being changed as well. I would like to see sports leagues put more of their games on free streaming services. Like
I love free.
Twitch is a massive free streaming service that anybody can access, and I'd love to see maybe the NFL.
There's no way that
they have a partnership with Amazon. Put some of your games on Twitch.
There's no way that I give it a year and that.
But you can run ads and sponsors off of that and still make money through that instead of charging people $6 a month to watch this one game or this one sport.
You're right.
It's like pay-per-view on steroids, pretty much. But
and that's a good point you bring up because that's what happened to boxing.
Yeah, boxing's so bad now. Yeah,
it's like why pay-per-view just outpriced it, and it's like even UFC. I love UFC. I don't buy the pay-per-view. I wait, even if I know who wins. I just wait till they throw it on ESPN Plus and watch it on there. I can skip the commercials, so I can cut down a 3-hour fight pretty much down to an hour and a half. Fast forward all the stupid Joe Rogan takes that are stupid, don't mean anything.
I mean, there's plenty of free TV things. That Pluto TV is all free TV. So it doesn't have to be the primetime greatest game of all time, that you put on there. Start small with some, lesser popular sports, see how they do, but eventually move up and maybe include one, like, NBA game or I don't know, NFL game or whatever it is on one of these free streaming sites to just give people more accessibility, because I think people are so limited with now. There's so much content and there's so many different sites and stuff.
Well, they're just so beat down of, you want to watch this game? Okay, get a subscription. And we've talked about this before in other episodes, but it's too much, and especially nowadays where you want to watch a lot of out-of-market sports, and you can, but it's like, well, you can, but it's going to cost you. And then you have to pick and choose what teams you want to watch. And it's just...
Even the pirated sites are now starting to get monetized.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you go to Sport Hunter TV or whatever.
Yeah,
or
I remember those days.
And now they're like, got to pay a subscription to us if you want to watch the pirated games. It's like, what? Why?
Pay a subscription for us to break the law.
So it's not pirated anymore or something? You're legit, but you're still marketing yourselves as that?
Well, and I going back to kind of how we started, it's not worth it to me. Like, until fans come back, I don't want to pay, unless it's a really big game and the game actually means something. But these regular season games, nah.
Well, I think it's an interesting topic.
I'll just look at the scores, and I mean, seriously, that's how I follow sports now.
Aaron.
I look at Bleacher Report and I check the scores and be like, oh, okay, this is this team's record. All right,
I play fantasy basketball and never watch a single NBA game
because you feel like you don't even need to watch it. You're just like, oh, okay, I saw the stats.
I know it's bad. I wish it was more entertaining to sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna watch this NBA game. But
I just remember as a kid, man, it was just so exciting to just watch a game on TV. You got so into it, and I really think it's a combination of rules, how the players play because they're not into it as much.
Yep.
And now obviously right now with the lack of fans, but
I agree. Yeah.
I mean there's a reason even when fans are back in the stands why the Florida Panthers weren't fun to watch on TV because no one's at their games. But you watch, these or like the Buffalo Bills. There's a reason why people like watching the Bills.
I'm glad
their fans
the Bills
are
were
nuts.
good this year, though. That was
even when they're bad, their fans are crazy and it's fun to watch.
It was fun.
Fans, this year especially is teaching us that fans mean a lot more to the game than what we thought.
It's an interesting topic. Lots of changes coming up, I think, in 2021 for live sports. So if you liked what we talked about in today's episode, let's continue the conversation. What's the future of live sports? Do you think viewership will continue to go down, or is it going to go back up? Do your own personal schedules make it harder to watch live games, or do you like the 20-second highlight reel? Let's talk about it. Show us what your thoughts are on our Twitter handles. You can follow us at Weekendology Pod. Our sports handle is at Weekendology Sports. And follow our Weekendology Entertainment handle at Weekendology ENT. Check us out on YouTube as well at Weekendology Podcast. We've got a Facebook page for all of you guys, too, if you want to keep up with all of the news that we have. If you don't like Twitter or...
Facebook's a scary place.
Facebook is
still a scary place.
So don't... But ours is not a scary place. We're the haven of the internet.
My safe space.
Oh, man.
South Park.
You can check out our last episode as well, where we talk about the future of online sports gambling. Some really relevant and topical stuff in that episode, and many great things to change, too. Maybe the two will combine together and, I don't know, live sports. And
I will say that I think will save sports from, the viewership plummeting and make it more entertaining is definitely sports betting, because
I think it will too.
You bet on, and that's we talked about that also last episode, but that really brings that entertainment aspect back. You bet on these random games and you all of a sudden, I really care about this, I'm into it. So
forces you to watch the game.
I think that's going to be huge, with this continuation of no fans in the stands. People betting on them because it's bringing them a little closer than as close as they can get. I
agree. Weekendology is brought to you by the Big Red World. Don't forget to go check them out on Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org as well. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your fix. You can even say, "Hey Alexa, play Weekendology" on Amazon. That's always a great thing. So we've got new episodes every Friday. Thanks for joining us this week. Until next time, enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you guys then.